Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. I am here with you on a different night than normal. So thank you for everybody who saw my reminders in the Pink and Main group and the Stamp Junkies group. Just trying to remind everybody, changing it up a little bit tonight. But I see a lot of people are already jumping in the chat. Lisa's here, Miss Sherry's here, Gail's here, Susan's checking in. Let's see, Melissa's checking in. She saw my reminder go up. Brennan's here. He's making ornaments. Could not be me. I don't want to talk about Christmas again until maybe November. Let's see, Sapphire's here, Sarah, Lori, Maria, Peggy's checking in, Miss Jackie Ann, Kim's here. Thank you guys so much. Miss Judy's here, Pam's here. We'll give it a minute so that anybody who didn't see my reminder can pop in. But I have been feeling very much like it is January is the month that will not end. It feels like the 112th day of January. And I am over the cold. I'm over the whole month. I was originally scheduled today to get some family stuff taken care of this week, and then last night we found out my daughter has the flu. My oldest has the flu, and so now I feel like I'm a ticking time bomb. So I figured I would leave this live for tonight in case I might not be feeling great tomorrow. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. Maybe by some miracle, I'll manage to escape it, but I'm not feeling super confident about that. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Right? And Melissa said January has been so long. Right? And Lisa said it's almost over. I know, right? But not close enough. We still have this whole week to get through. But yeah, so because of all that, I wanted a happy, cheerful, fun hello card that could be made any time of year, sent any time of year, something to just make somebody smile, something to make me smile, something to cheer me up. So that's what we are making, and it's going to be super cute. So let me switch views. So these guys are back. We use them, I think we used them sneak peek week. So that was 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. Last week, I think. I think last week was sneak peek week. But we used the Easter guys, or I did. I don't remember now, but I want to use this one, the little wheelbarrow full of flowers. I think that he's just so cute. And again, could be summer, spring. You could change up the coloring and make it fall. But just like a good, like anytime happy image. So I grabbed some fun kind of supporting players that we're going to use to make this card. Per usual, I have a general idea in mind. I do not have an exact sketch in mind. Who knows how it'll turn out, but I feel really good about the bones we've collected, right? The base pieces I've brought together for this. Oh, for this card. Sorry. And anytime I move stuff, it like whites out the screen a little bit. Dawn's checking in, Cindy's here, Lori's checking in. Let's see, Brendan said it's Christmas all year round. That's how it is with Halloween for me, so I can understand that. I do understand how that goes. Okay, there we go, back to normal colors. All right, let's go ahead and start by stamping out my little mouse. I have this scrap of Copic Express It, so we're going to use that. I was thinking about doing the Olos, but some of these petals are small, and I still am just not super confident in my ability to blend and stay kind of controlled where like in control of where all my colors are going with my Olos. So since I also had this scrap literally on my desk, it felt like a sign that the universe said, don't sweat it. We can do Olos on Thursday. Hopefully I'll be here Thursday. Worst case, if I like lose my voice or sound gross, maybe we'll have just like some music and you guys can talk amongst yourselves. My plan is to be here Thursday. Okay, let's get our sweet little mouse inked up. Halloween 24/7, 365. Exactly, Dawn. Every day is Halloween if you try hard enough. But I guess that's going to be true of Christmas too. Oh, there we go. And you're just so cute. I love him. Okay. Let's just kind of pop that a little. I still have to track down my microfiber towels. Hold on one second. Brendan said I'll voice you over. That would make a great video. We should add that to our possible collab list for future, where we voice over each other's videos. And speaking of doing my nails, Gail, I'm so sad. I had my nails done last week and I was feeling really good about it. And when I took them off, they're way worse again. So I think I have to take a longer break because I can't be sure if if it's happening on its own or if the nails are making like the fake nails are making it worse. I don't know what to do. Okay, so I want to play with the watercolor spring pattern papers. So I'm gonna try to narrow down what I want to use now so that I know what to color match to when we're coloring. I think I don't know, do I want rainbow? I kind of envisioned rainbow, but like, some of these are pretty where it's not a full rainbow. I like that fun stripe. It's pretty. We're not using a whole piece either. We're going to mix a strip of this with some um, white embossed. That's pretty. All right, I think I'm going to grab this one. I'm not quite sure, where we're going to cut it. If we want more rainbow, we can do this side. If we want less rainbow, we can do that side. But we'll figure that out when we get there. At least I'll have something to work off of colors when we're doing our matching. Hey, Irma. And Diane's checking in from Texas. Yeah, Irma, I love these pattern papers. They're so pretty. Sorry, that was really quickly in mode. Okay, let's do some coloring. Here we go. And I'll just keep this up here as a little color reference. Lisa, we still have snow on the ground here. We do still have some snow. I think I want him to be like a little lighter gray mouse, a little lighter than I usually go. So let's go with some neutral grays. We'll start with N4. And add some shadow around the base of the ears, kind of under his little curls. I'm also going to kind of emphasize those curls. Pull some shadow down around the outside of his little face. And the bottom part of his arm, for sure on the bottom of his feet. That was N4, then we'll jump up to N2. Start pulling that color out. Pull up that shadow over his nose. And that foot that's towards the back can be just filled in with that. We don't really need the highlight there because it's tucked back anyway. Let's see. I see Denise checking in. I see Annabella checking in from Canada. Thank you guys so much. I see Raquel snuck in. I didn't catch her. Welcome, welcome. For our impromptu Monday night live. And I'm going to add just a touch of this N0 to the center of his little belly, just so it's not completely stark white, and the same on his little like muzzle. But I'm not going to fill that in. I don't think. I want him to be really light. And I'm going to come back in with that too, that medium shade, and add a little bit of shadow on the inside of the ear. So when we go over it with the pink, it won't be too aggressive. And for the pink, I'm going to switch it up a little, and we're going to go in with an R01, which is kind of more like a soft peachy pink. Because I want this explosion of flowers next to him to kind of be the focus. That's cute. I don't like the pink nose though. There, very cute. There's our little mouse. Easy peasy. And let's give him a nice warm wood grain little wheelbarrow. So I'm going to come in with E49 and emphasize the shadow under this little shelf, or like that ledge. I'm going to pull in a little bit of shadow from either end as well. And for that, you can see I'm not touching my shadow to the artist drawn line. I'm leaving that little white border all the way around. You don't have to do that. I just think it gives it a little extra dimensional look. And then I'm going to add this where those kind of planks are, the wooden boards. And then inside, it's always tricky trying to figure out what is wheel and what is on the other side of the wheel. I'm going to color the wheel in the same. I'm sure it really makes sense to have a wooden wheel, but that's what I'm doing. I already committed. Right, Susan? Isn't he just so cute? All right, so then my medium shade is going to be E59, which you wouldn't think would be super different because they, they're right next to each other with the first number and then the second number is the same. But the E59 is a little bit lighter and a lot warmer. This is kind of my usual like brunette hair color combo. That 49. Right, and then 57. And because these wooden planks are so small, I'm not really worrying about shadowing and shading the little wood grain squiggles, the little bacon lines, right? All of these. Just going to leave them for right now. It seems like too small. Peggy, yeah, this paper is literally the best. We got another Melissa checking in from Texas. Welcome, welcome. Oh no, Diane said I got my order today. Didn't see that paper. Yeah, the watercolor spring paper is so pretty. And I see Allie's checking in. Perfect. Okay. I guess at this point I'm just gonna commit to this wheel. Shade it in with that lighter color. I'm going to bring back that R01 that I used on his ears and just give a little bit of color to that belly. It's sticking. It's like keeps catching my eye. All right, so there's our little wagon or wheelbarrow, and then our little cute gray mouse. And then for our flowers, I'm really liking this like very pretty YG springy green. So let's just start with leaves. Sometimes if I'm not positive exactly where my colors are headed, I like to just jump in with the greenery first if it feels like an easier choice to make, which it doesn't always. I feel like if you've been here before, you might know. Sometimes I struggle with my greens. That's okay. We can just make some swatches up here. So let's find a little combo that speaks to me. Oh, that's way too dark. Okay, let's try Geo5. I'm going to start with some Geo5. These aren't super detailed anyway. I'm probably overthinking this. Thank you, Denise. The green and the purple color combos are like, I feel like are the most difficult for me. They don't come easily. I think the purples is just because in general, from any like markers that I've used, there's just not as many options. And greens is maybe there's just too many options. So I went GO5, then we're going to go to YGO7, which shouldn't be lighter, but it is, which is why it's important to either have a hex chart or do your little swatch lines or something so that you can see how everything works together. And then my highlight is going to be YGO6. Okay. And there's just a couple little flowers right down here at the bottom that have like a stem built into the flower. So I'll just shape those in green. I really want these big ones to be like not necessarily sunflower, but maybe like daisy vibes, right? Like some bright yellows. Then these spirally ones I think are going to be more like rosy. So I think we're going like pink, yellow, and then maybe maybe orange. And we'll go like a little bit analogous. So like the colors in a row, right? Like red, orange, yellow, green. Versus if we pull in a purple, it's going to like bump up the contrast. But I'm not sure I want it to be super bold that way. And you might think, wow, Caitlin's learned so much about all of this from coloring. And to that, I would say, no, this is all from my time doing eyeshadow at Sephora. All right, I'm going to go in with Y15 and start shading in the petals on these really big flowers. And then maybe we'll bring in some orange there because then we'll still have pink and red and all that. So let's bring in like a little touch of an orangey color. We'll go YR15 into the center of these flowers. So not really like, this is called pumpkin yellow, which is so funny because I was just going to say not like pumpkin orange, but in my opinion, definitely still more yellow than orange. That was YR15. Let's bring in a little 12. And then we'll finish that off with a yellow to make sure it fully fits in the yellow category. Let's bring in Y02. Very sunshiny and happy. Moose. I just got distracted by the thing. I'm sorry if my face just went blank. I was reading the comments and Melissa said moose and it stopped me in my tracks. Oh, mom's here. Let's see. I know at least one other person jumped in. Where? Dawn. Dawn's here. Perfect. Okay, let's go a little more. If we end up with the rainbow piece, we're going to have some that are a little more like RV pinky and some that are a little more like peachy pinky. So I think we'll play with that versus going like red, because none of this like here is red, but I think we're going to stick more of like here and over for our paper. So let's do a little RV pink, a little red violet pink, and then a little peachy pink. So RV25, and we will kind of just follow this spiral These are like very abstract style roses. There's not really like a wrong way to do these. I saw these are skipped yellow. First mark of the night. I thought it would happen way before now, so that's not too bad. Okay, and then we need a more like salmony peachy pink, I think. How about like R05 and R02, a little like salmony pink. These are not the same type of flower, but we're gonna just adopt this like little slightly more daisy-ish flower into the mix. Let's pop a little bright yellow in there. Right, I just feel like so happy. And then we can do like one of each butterfly. So while I have the reds out, I'm gonna do all of these the same way. I'm gonna add just like a little dot of the darker color on each like wing shape, and then just blend that out and fill in the rest with my lighter color. So R05 and R02 and RV25 and RV23. And then YR15 and Y02. I'm just picking like the lightest and darkest that we used. Right, very careful. So I'm writing down all my colors. All right, let's get our coordinating die and get this little mouse cut out. And then we can start figuring out this assembly. Okay, 1 second. I'll run this through my die cut machine. Use a Sizzix Big Shot. Keep up here next to my desk now. Still haven't put it back on the ground, so that's good. Susan, it's if the hex chart and practice are my number 1 and number 2 pieces of advice. My number 3 would be, if you know that you're coloring with a specific pattern paper or background paper or cardstock in mind to use in your design, always put it next to what you're coloring. Always. It makes such a huge difference when you're trying to, right, find colors that kind of work together. And it doesn't have to be exact, but it'll keep you more on pace, like on cue, than if you're just out there going rogue and trying to guess, right? If you already have it because you know you want to use it, just go for it. All right, so I have the daisies. Oh, you guys are still zoomed in. Hold on. I have the daisies embossing folder. Here we go. And it's one of my favorites. I just thought it would be so cute with our little mouse. And so I thought I would do some white. Where did I put it? Oh, I took it right here. I just have some ice rink stuff. Allie, this folder is not new. It is a couple pages back. If you're looking in the embossing folder collection, I do have it linked if you're watching from YouTube. It is linked. And those links for the YouTube ones aren't affiliate links or anything, just for transparency. They just take you straight to the Pink and Mean website. Okay, so A2 sized white cardstock. I'm going to line it up. That obviously doesn't have to be straight because it's a crazy pattern and you wouldn't know anyway. And I'm going to run that through my Big Shot once again, taking out the green plate and running it through with just the main one and my two regular clear plates. Always hinge first. Oh goodness. Okay. Always hinge side first. I should have sprayed that a little bit, but that's okay. I did get one little spot where it kind of cut through. But so this is the emboss side and the deboss side. I usually prefer the deboss side, but I'm thinking today I want to go with the emboss side. So what I had envisioned was kind of like, like a little partial covering, some of that, some of this, with this guy, and then our hello. That's the vision I had. Oh yeah, you can see right there. I think my sandwich is also like a little extra snug, maybe. I'm pretty sure people say you can spray your cardstock down with water, but I just live with it. Okay, let's see if this is even going to fit. So that is pretty good. It's a little bit off. Maybe he'll have to kind of tuck above. I want to make sure this way's not the answer, right? Either way, I do like the hello. So let's go ahead and cut that. I kind of want to cut it from like a white and a yellow, maybe. I think I have street light. I'm worried dress shop is going to be too pink. Oh, I also have construction. Construction could be cute, or street light could be cute. I think I'm leaning street light. So let's cut one of that and then one of our white. And we'll do a little layering if we need to. If the yellow street light is pretty on its own, we'll just use that. I have a feeling if we're splitting the difference, if it's going in between where the white cardstock and the pattern paper meet, a little color and a little white layered might be the trick. But also, I won't know until I see it. Definitely just cut that into the wrong plate. So that's fun. There's our hello. Okay, let's reorder my plates so they actually go into a cutting plate and not into a, regular plate. I also think this just on the white emboss is so pretty. Like that with the little hello could also be a card on its own if you don't have the pattern paper. Right? Like a little hello and him on that could be so cute. But I want my pattern paper. Let's try this like a little imaginary drop shadow layer, right? Just to help it kind of stand up off of that white. Oh, that's really cute. Okay, done. I like it. Um, let's. I think it either needs to be 2/3 or 1/3, right? I think half is weird. Half looks like it's going to be weird to my eyes. So, what do we have? 4 1/4. So, math, right? Am I right? So like 1 3/4 ish. That looks right without having to do any math. Let's see, one. Let's shift to 2, just in case. But I'd rather have extra and trim it off than not enough. That's pretty. It's a little, and we'll just scoot everything down a little bit instead of having it like cut right on the middle. I think if we shift this down just a hair. Yep, yep. Such a happy card. Exactly what I was hoping for. These kind of like hello and like general encouragement style cards are my favorite kind of card to make. Yeah, Denise said mine. I believe you. I promise I believe you. Just two looked right when I went to cut it. I don't know. My brain, my eyes like to, whether it's mathematically correct or not. All right, so I'm taking a A2 card base. And I don't think I'm going to worry about a mat. I was thinking about it. I was considering it, but I don't think I need it. We'll go in with our liquid glue. But make sure that this embossed paper really sticks since we're going to have the deboss side down, right? The raised side down. And I am positioning this so those couple little cracks that I had from the embossing folder are going to end up under our pattern paper because it's not a deal breaker for me. But if I have the choice, like if it's the option to hide it is already right there, why not? Melissa, the Hello die is from it's linked. It's from this one, the scalloped mini slim dies. It's the hello that came in there. And then the other one, the other mini slim has that big thanks. I love this hello. I just really wanted something that would kind of like have enough weight to stand on its own. This pattern paper strip is going to go on with foam, so we can partly pop up um, our little mouse there. And because this is pretty simple, there's a good chance that I'm going to break out some sequins or pearls or something. Fair. All right, let's get this up. And I already just like the look of the pattern paper over, because this could also, in theory, have gone that way too. See, this landscape, I like how thick it is, but if we were going to go portrait, then I would say it needed to be about like 1.5. Okay, so our little wheelbarrow and the mouse's tail are going to kind of hug that edge of that paper. So I think I can add some foam here on the ears and on this top flower part. All of this should be over. We'll get these taken off and then we'll do liquid glue on the rest of them. Well, Melissa says votes for pearls. I like that. There are some of those jelly gems that look like they would be the right yellow, but I do think pearls would be really pretty. Make sure his ear's not over the edge. There we go. Okay, and then little drop shadow on our. I'm not even squeezing. I'm just tapping what wants to come out on its own from holding this upside down. Go. Get some big squishes to get out that extra glue. But that's going to give just a little hint of yellow. Okay, and we're going to do the thing that you know I don't love, but I'm going to do it anyway because I truly believe it's going to be worth it. And I'm going to cut some slivers of my foam tape at the top of the H and the L's. Oh my gosh, if you can hear anything in the background, I can never tell what you guys can hear or not, but my dog is right behind me and she is snoring. So, all right, so we have foam on those top little pieces and some liquid glue on the bottom of our letters. And I'm using the O and the side of this little wheelbarrow to line up where that's going to go. I want the O to kind of fit into the curve that we get there. Oh, and my slivers are too long. Here we go. Right? A little hello. Very fun and colorful. But I definitely think it needs some kind of shine or pearl or sparkle or something. So let's grab some options. I got jelly gems. I got pastel pearls. I think my confetti sequins are might be a little too bright for this. But we have our little pearls. We have these bigger pearls. Right, like the sunshine. It might be the wrong kind of yellow. But like the salmon confetti could be cute with a little pink, salmony pink to play up the other colors in our bouquet. Ooh, this yellow is really good though too. Let's see. See how that brighter yellow matches that construction really well? I could definitely see like a little diagonal action happening. Why don't you want to stay glued? Just needs a minute. I also have these like creamier yellow pearls. We could do some of these instead. The problem is they don't have as many sizes. I really like that these pearls have the sizes and the same with the sequins. I like doing groups of 3, and so I like when I have 3 sizes to choose from. Let's see. Let's try both. We think the yellow is fun. Salmony pink. I don't love the salmony pink. Maybe it's not loud enough where the yellow will be like, bam, like emerald. Is that dating myself? Brendan, do you know who Emerald is? Okay, let's try. Let's try this. Let's see. Trio down there, little triangle. Tuck that bigger pearl under his ear. Triangle up here. Oh, I think that's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Triangle could probably be like a little bigger. There we go. Just kind of pointing a little more. So yeah, there is our very happy, cheerful, sunshiny anytime card. A great one to have in your stash. And this little guy obviously could be swapped out for whatever, but I think this general like sketch layout and having that bold word with some kind of cute little image is just like an easy go-to to have, ready to go in your collection. So thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. Hopefully, I will be here on Thursday. If that changes, I'll get some notices out ASAP, and I'll keep Libby looped in. But otherwise, fingers crossed that I don't end up with the flu, and I'll be here with you on Thursday at 8:30 per usual. If you have any requests, you guys know you can always go ahead and leave them in the comments for me. I'll go back and check on Wednesday. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have a safe and healthy next couple days. I will see you back here soon. And until next time, happy crafting, guys. Have a good night.